Good morning, everybody. Good morning.
Profound, lasting transformation. Spark the fuse, your revelation. With every
Happy to
step you
have you
break
here
the
today.
mold. Turning lead
I'm
into
just trying to set
purest
up.
gold.
Just give me a minute. I'll be with you. Good morning.
Caught a glimpse in the mirror today, no disguise. Used to be a shadow, now see the light in your eyes. Burn the bridges to the past, now watch them blaze. From the ashes, rise up to brighter days. Shattered broken wings on the floor. Once were tethered, now you're ready to soar. Left behind the chains that held you tight. Embrace the scars, they are birthrights. Profound, lasting transformation. Once were tethered, now you're ready to soar. Left behind the chains that held you tight. Embrace the scars, they are
Oh, there we
birthright.
go.
Profound, lasting transformation. Spark
Takes a
the
while to
fuse, your
show up here.
revelation. With every step you break the mold. Turn lead into purest gold.
So I'm just saying hello. Good morning.
The road ahead is winding, dark steep. Yet your heart's a phoenix in eternal leap.
Happy
Whispers
that
of
you're
doubt, but
showing
you
up today.
silence the noise. March forward with unbreakable voice. Oh, when the night is closing in, remember where you've been. Each tear is a true reach for a stride. Find strength deep inside.
So, good morning. Happy to have you here today. We're on a Sunday morning, and today is our seventh stream. And I'm so happy that you made it here today. Really, kudos to you. Let's just wait for a couple of minutes to see if anyone joins us, and then we'll get going. Like I always say, I need to look at the other screen so I can see who's saying hello. Happy to see you here with me. Yeah, as I set this up. So, what are Sunday mornings like for you? Are they slow? Are they days on which you wake up early as well? For me, Saturdays and Sundays are busy days because I work on Saturdays and Sundays. I take Thursdays off usually. So I have to wake up early and get going on a Saturday and a Sunday. Now, especially because I'm doing this, all the more a reason. And I love doing this. I hope you enjoy this as well. I really hope you enjoy this. So, today, our theme for today is the person you're becoming. Let's remember that lasting change never happens when you change something suddenly. It's always slow and consistent, right? So, we'd like for you to remember that and to apply that in everything that you do. So, the reason why I chose 15 minutes a day is because one, time constraint. People don't have all the time in the world to sit and watch, a show that's being aired every day for 30 minutes or 45 minutes in the morning. That is one thing. The other thing that I found is that 15 minutes a day consistently can get you enough change over a period of time. Just imagine over a year, 15 minutes a day, how far it would have taken you, whether it's a hobby, I like to do some cursive writing. I'm not a great painter, but I love to do some coloring and stuff like that. So I do that. And I love to cook. So these are the things that I like to do. So on a daily basis, I try to put in at least 15 minutes to make sure that things, you know, I follow my hobbies and I do things that build me minute by minute. So even with this, even with any other practice that I need to do for myself to keep myself clear, to make sure that I'm not carrying stuff from one person to another, I need to be able to clear my mind. And I use 15 minutes as a break time. I use 15 minutes to clear my mind first thing before I go to bed. And as soon as I wake up in the morning, I have my own ritual that I do for just 15 minutes or less sometimes. But consistently doing that every single day builds it so that you, when you look back and you say, hey, I spent 15 minutes a day, let's see what's happening at the end of a year, when you look at it, it's a massive, massive change that you will notice. So I welcome you. Thank you for being here. And I really want you to choose who you're becoming one day at a time. Just one day at a time, 15 minutes at a time, right? So, as we're looking, I'd just like to ask anyone joining here to say hello in the chats. 7 mornings ago, you made a decision. You began to choose differently. I wonder if you've noticed what has quietly changed for you in these 7 days. I'm sure something has changed, minute as it may seem. Something has definitely changed, right? So let's prepare for the day now. I'd like you to close your eyes and take 3 deep breaths with me. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out again, in and out. And the reason why I ask for us to do this breathing is because it just brings us to the present moment. Noticing our breath brings us to the present moment. So, yes. So, I'd like to ask you if you've ever picked up a picture of yours from 5 years ago, say, and looked at it and thought, wow, I've changed. Wow, I've changed so much. Now, it is not necessarily only that the physical person has changed when you're looking at that photograph that you're thinking, oh, this has changed. Your identity could have changed. Who you think you are, who you believed you are, could have changed over 5 years. And when did it happen? Nobody knows. Nobody knows when it happened. It's a slow change because growth never happens in spurts. Growth whispers. Growth just whispers, goes slow, goes unnoticed. When you look at a tree in nature or a plant, you don't see what's happening inside for it to begin to bud. One day you see the bud and you say, wow, right? Similarly, when someone looks at us or we look back and look at a photograph, we're thinking, wow, something's really changed, right? However, there are so many little things that have contributed to that change, right? Maybe you change the way you're thinking, maybe you change the way you're doing something, maybe you focused a little more on your health, in which case appearance will change first. Maybe you're beginning to look at how you can be more focused or be more active, and that is a mental thing, mental sharpness or focus, and that's wonderful. So one of the reasons why I'm doing this is because, you know by the time it's World Mental Day in October, I want to make sure that at least some people have a chance to be able to work with being more clear. While you may have clarity as something, you may, wherever you are, whether you are a person who's already very clear about what you're doing, two, maybe you're a person who's wondering how you can make your life better. I think all of us have a chance to become better than where we are. Even if your morning is very purposeful, you have a chance to become better, right? And in my perspective, World Mental Health Day doesn't necessarily mean you're going down and you need to change something, or the world is going down and you need to change something. Preserving, priming, upgrading are also things that you need to do to show that, that I would like to see it as. If we use that as a target, yes. I mean, if you look at Yoga Day or Fitness Day, people work out so that they get better. Why not do it with the mind? Why not? By World Mental Health Day, you're looking at yourself and saying, hey, how could I get better at this? How could things become better for me? Right? That's the reason why I'm doing this. That is my purpose. And tiny as it may be, whether I reach a small number of people or a large number of people, even if one person's life has changed, I'm more than happy. So, thank you for being with me and allowing this growth to happen in your own life. It means a lot. Thank you for participating. So, I'd like to tell you a small story like I do always. And I find that stories are a good way of relating something. There are good anecdotes, are good ways for people to relate to something. And please drink that water. Water not only rehydrates your body, it also has a function with the mind and the brain. You begin to think clearer when you drink water often. Don't overdo it, but just keep a small bottle of water and make sure that you take a few sips every time, maybe every 15 or 20 minutes. Okay, so imagine that there are two stone cutters working side by side. Okay, people who break stones for a living. They're breaking these stones so that we can build a building, or we can, lay a foundation. You know, if you've seen the foundation stones, they're like really huge granite stones, right? So they're breaking a huge rock they're cutting it so that it can be made into something useful, right? And somebody going by asked them, what are you doing? So the first stone cutter, without even looking up, he just says, breaking rocks. So, is what the person says, oh, you're breaking rocks. Okay. And he moves on to the second one. The second one, when he's asked the same question, what are you doing? He wipes his brow, he puts down his tools, and he looks up and he says, oh, I am breaking stones so that they can be used to build a temple. And this person, the traveler, is wow, okay, that seems great. Now it's the exact same work that somebody is doing. Okay, two people, the same thing, breaking stones. But look at the perspective, right? It's only the perspective that has changed, right? One is looking at it as a task, something that he'll get by through the day, something that will help him get his income for the day and finish off. The other is looking at it as an identity. His effort is going into building something, right? he is doing something so that he contributes to something bigger. And he has that vision of this temple being built because of the stones that he is contributing towards it. So the other sees tomorrow's person, right? Now, I'd like you to think about this. How many times have you seen elderly people around you feeling like their life is not useful, or they feel like nothing is happening for them? And how many times have you seen ones that think that their life is useful and they really, their life is something that contributes? You know, if you look at older people like our grandparents or our great grandparents, it could be anything. I remember my great grandfather used to, though he was well into his 80s at that time, he was pretty agile. He used to walk, he used to come to our home. He lived in the next street, so he would come home. He would ask for our books. He'd say, "Do you have any books that are torn? I'll bind them for you." He would say, "Okay, let's see, let us read this together." He'd say, "Come, let's sit and write this together." So, in his mind, what he was doing is watching over us kids and making sure that he felt like he's contributing to our lives. And that is something wonderful, right? Have you seen people who say, "Okay, I have to get dressed in the morning because we don't know who's going to visit our house. I have to look good and I have to be there, presentable." Even that is a good enough purpose. There are some that will say, "I need to go out and play a card game. I'm going to the club because I want to play cards today. My friends will be waiting there. The cards are not important. My friends will be waiting at the table for me. I have to go and meet them," right? Or, "I have to go for a swim today." These are the people. Why do you need to go for a swim? It looks like it's just enjoyment, but they have a bigger purpose under it. That makes me feel good. It makes me feel fit. It makes me feel like I can do anything. It makes me feel like I'm agile. Or, yeah, I'm a little older now and I really cannot do any other exercise or play a sport. So I've taken to swimming, right? If you look deeper down, some of them have this purpose that I do not want to burden my children by being ill. I need to take care of myself so that I live a good life and my children are not put through a situation because I have not bothered to take care of myself. Even that is a great and a big purpose, right? And they're the ones, if you notice, who don't have m- things that most people are succumbing to these days, like dementia and Alzheimer's. I mean, sometimes it's genetic, but a lot of times it's simply because they do not use their bodies and their minds as well as they used to use it earlier, right? So, that in itself is a great contribution, right? So, this is something that I would like you to remember. And I'd like you to remember that while you're attending this, joining us every morning, you are not just attending some live stream, you are laying a foundation, one stone at a time. Even if these are things that you have already known, as a reminder, you're laying a foundation, one stone at a time. So, thank you for showing up and thank you for being here. Your habits introduce you way before your words do, right? So if you see an old elderly person who's swimming and the way they walk up to you, the way they talk to you, everything is different because the confidence is very different, right? It, little things. That's why our parents or our grandparents taught us this is the way you behave in public, because your habits speak much faster than when you open your mouth. When you greet somebody, for instance, you just pay attention to their coming in and you smile first and you know, bow your head or you nod your head, and then you walk up to them and you say hello. You can't be standing at one corner and not talk to anybody, right? These are things that build And these are things that speak enormously, they speak volumes about us, right? So I'd like you to remember that you don't become who you are overnight. These are little things that you build, and your habits always speak before your words do, right? So you don't become a calm person on one morning. You don't become a clearer person on one morning. You become calm because you choose to be calm every time you're presented an opportunity. You choose to be clear. That is why you build clarity into your life. Your identity isn't something you find. Your identity is something that you practice and grows with you silently. Which is why when you look at a photograph from 5 years ago, you see a massive change because your identity has grown silently along with you because you've been practicing something, right? With me on this, I'd love for you to say hello. Take 3 deep breaths with me because today we're going to do this now. Close your eyes and breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in again and breathe out. Once more, breathe in and breathe out. Now imagine standing at the entrance of a beautiful garden at sunrise. And behind you is that version of yourself who joined our Clarity Collective on day one. Just notice the person. Just notice. Not with judgment, just with kindness. Notice this person. See if they were worried or they carried any worries with them. See if they were rushing or they were on autopilot. See if there was an endless noise around them. And smile at them. Thank them for beginning. Now turn around, walk through the garden slowly. With every step, notice something changing. Your shoulders soften, your breathing slows down, your attention steadies, and your mind is becoming quieter and quieter. And you notice that you arrive at a mirror. Look into the mirror, not to see perfection, but to notice possibility. Just to notice possibility. Ask yourself, who am I becoming? Don't force an answer. Let one word arise. Patient, like it was patient, presence, being brave, being focused, being helpful, whatever the word is. Just allow that one word to come up. Allow it to appear and receive it. Place your hands on your heart and whisper, I am becoming. Not I've arrived, but I'm just becoming. I'm becoming patient. And just let that feel enough. I'm becoming hopeful. Let that be enough. And you can now slowly open your eyes And for today, your experiment is very simple, very small again. Every time you catch yourself saying, I'm not that kind of a person, I want you to pause and ask yourself, who am I? Is that who I am? Or is that just who I've been? Is that who I am? Or is that just who I've been? That's it. Just one question. And just watch how many identities come up, how many identities loosen their grip on you. So, thank you for being here again today. Don't look for dramatic changes, look for tiny evidence. Every breath you remembered, every story you questioned, every time you took a pause, and every bit of gratitude you reclaimed. Those aren't random moments. They're little votes.
You're as cold.
They're little votes. So keep voting. Keep voting. And tomorrow we're going to discover why letting go is actually helping you. It isn't losing anything, it's actually making more space. So, see you tomorrow. Thank you so much for being here with me. Thank you so much for making it to 7 days. Have a great Sunday. Enjoy yourself. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.